And we're focusing on real estate today, which is a quick, fast-growing industry in our country. And Thayton Property has made history as the first local company to win 3 international awards at the 2025-2026 International Property Awards in the United Kingdom. So their flagship project is the 2267 Lifestyle Estate in Glenlawn, Harare, and it's redefining what modern urban living looks like in Zimbabwe. So joining me today is the CEO of Thayton Property, Mr. Ben Nyaume, and he'll help us unpack what this win means for his company, the country, and the future of Zimbabwean real estate. Good evening, and thank you for taking time to be with us today.
Hey, Kaya, you know what your name means, right? I don't know if many shorter people know. You've got the appropriate name to be hosting a real estate discussion and talking to a property developer, and it's so exciting. Mm-hmm. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having us.
And my full name, actually, which is something that a lot of people may not know because I usually use Kaya for short, but my full name is Kaya Lihle, which means Mushawakanak.
Listen to that. Manzwere Mashona. Kaya Lihle.
Yes.
Lovely, Kaya.
So, there's a reason why, we're having this conversation. So, start off, before we get into, unpacking our conversation, I'd just like to extend congratulations on your remarkable achievement, making history at the International Property Awards with 3 wins for 2267 Lifestyle Estate. What makes this project stand out?
Wow, so many things make it stand out. But what I really want to emphasize firstly, Kaya, is our marketing director coined this a shared victory. It's not only a victory or an award in recognition for Thayton Property. Like when our Sables rugby team qualified for the World Cup, it was a victory for the whole country. When our football team does well, it's a victory for the whole country. I think that as Thayton, we really see this as a big win for Zimbabwe. That, call it the home of industrialization, the British, the United Kingdom, that we are traveling to the United Kingdom to be awarded at the seat of power, which is the House of Lords, to receive recognition for the kind of developments that we are doing in Zimbabwe. I think that's a shared victory for the country. I think the rest of the world is acknowledging that there is proper excellence in Zimbabwe, and we are so proud to be recognized for this award. And I think as we get into it, you'll get to understand why this project has received this recognition and all the wonderful things that make this project stand out.
Mm-hmm. And speaking about, the well-deserved recognition, the estate has been praised for it being smart, its sustainable design, very futuristic, very modern. There are features around energy conservation, solar power, water recycling. Can you take us through some of these elements that make the estate stand out and compete at an international level?
Okay. Well, the first thing I'll mention, because it's the first in Zimbabwe, this is the first project with full double glazing. Full double glazing on all doors and windows. And double glazing is, if you look at your normal, typical aluminium installations, it's 1 sheet of glass. Mm-hmm. In double glazing, you use 2 sheets of glass. And then the air between those 2 sheets of glass is vacuumed out, it's sucked out, and the special gases is put inside there. Now, the benefit of double glazing is that in winter, when you heat up your home, that heat doesn't escape through the windows. And similarly, in summer, when you cool down your house, you don't have the heat from outside transmitting into the house, where you end up using significantly more energy. All right. And then coupled to that, all of our apartments therefore have air conditioning. Now that makes your air conditioning work very, very efficiently and uses a minimum amount of power. But then in addition to that air conditioning, we have used and we drive that air conditioning with what's called a heat exchanger. Mm-hmm. A heat exchanger takes the heat in this ambient air, this normal air. It takes the heat in it and it concentrates it so much that it can then bring it out through your AC unit in your house as heat, and alternatively, it can also capture the cold in the ambient air, compress that, and then bring that out through your air conditioning as the cooling that you get. Now, this is really sophisticated technology. Now, it goes on even a little bit further, that when that heat exchanger is doing that, whether it's heating or cooling, the energy, the opposite negative energy it generates, is then used to drive a heat pump that then heats up the hot water that you use when you take a shower or when you're washing the dishes in your kitchen. Can you see that sustainable value chain and energy conservation that's happening there? So all of these things all feed off each other, and it makes the whole development really energy efficient and really adds a lot towards the sustainable development goals in terms of doing developments in a sustainable manner.
That's quite innovative. I'm really impressed. And there's right now, with the climate change conversations, environmental conservation, these are very topical issues right now. And to see that even in our own Zimbabwe, we're starting to incorporate some of these technologies that ensure that we're conserving energy, we're being smart about how we do that. That's quite impressive. How did you even get into this?
Into what? Into property development?
Property development, into real estate.
Whoa, that's a really exciting story. That's a long story. That's my lifetime, actually. So I was the son of a builder. My father, Bennett, may his soul rest in peace, was a builder. I started working with my dad on construction sites when I was 6 years old. My father built most of Marimba Park. He built houses for all of the top businessmen in Zimbabwe, whether it was the Stoles, the Dr. Kuchenas, all of these top businessmen, the Dubes, most of the houses were built by my father. And walking around a construction site with my dad, I knew then exactly what I wanted to do. I knew I was meant to be a builder. I knew I was meant to be a property developer. So we've just taken it a lot further, from just being a construction company, but to a full turnkey property developer. So that's where it really sort of came from. But I studied at Natal University. I've been recognized and received so many awards in South Africa in property development. Previously, South African Business Person of the Year. I've won several awards with the South African Property Owners Association for excellence in property development. So we've come a long way. But the most satisfying thing is we are so happy to be back home doing it in our Zimbabwe, our beloved Zimbabwe, and the world is recognizing what we're doing. And that's wonderful.
17 minutes after the hour of 7, you are tuned in to a special edition of The Impact. Today, we're in conversation with the CEO of Thayton Property, Mr. Ben Nyaume, and we're talking about their flagship project, the 2267 Lifestyle Estate in Glen Lorne, which has won Thayton Property 3 international awards. All right, so if you have any questions, any contributions to make during the course of our conversation, please get in touch with us on our WhatsApp number, and the number to send your messages to is 0772 168 045. Now let's get into the actual estate. As you were describing the innovation around the smart element, how you're conserving energy, I was like, wow, that must be a nice life. I was picturing myself living there. But I would love you to sell the dream further. What does a property on the estate look like? And who is the target audience? Ideally, who should be living there?
Well, thank you again, Kaya. So what we've done is a lifestyle estate. And this is the first lifestyle estate in the country. So it's not just your home, all right? It's a place to live with so many amenities, so many facilities. It really enhances into your lifestyle. So on the estate, we've got mini golf, all right? We've got paddleball. Now, paddleball is the latest craze globally. It's a mix between squash and tennis. So we've got paddleball there. We've got saunas. We've got steam rooms, We've got swimming pools. We've got a gym, fully fitted gym with techno gym equipment, which is the best in the world. We got a clubhouse. We got outdoor braai areas. There's just so many facilities. There's children's play areas. So, when you come home, you never have to live home. Your gym is there. You go for a swim. You go play mini golf. You go play paddleball. There's so many things that are there to enhance your lifestyle. But then, in addition, in your actual apartment, every single apartment, right, has got a balcony, firstly. So, as Zimbabweans, we love our meat. Every one of those balconies is fitted with a beautiful gas braai. So some people, who grew up in town don't know how to start a fire. You don't want to be smoking up the whole area. So we made it gas. All right. No mess, no fire.
Thank you, because we should be living a soft life, honestly. I can't remember the last time I tried to start a fire, so I would be one of those.
Yeah. So, but then in your kitchen is really where all the ladies and all the female people who are going to live in the state are going to really be so happy. Every single apartment comes with 8 SMEG. And I repeat, SMEG, S-M-E-G, appliances. That is from your dishwasher. So you don't have to wash your dishes and your pots and pans with your beautiful nails and your soft hands. All right. It comes with microwave, oven, extractor. The fridge is even included. All right. The oven, everything, and an extractor. So these come fully fitted, installed in your apartment. All right. So it's almost ready. You just bring your furniture and your clothes. All right. But we've gone further. We know that at the present moment, our country doesn't generate enough power. So we often have power cuts. All right. We've already pre-installed in every apartment an inverter and the battery pack, the lithium battery pack. So I think in a 1-bedroom apartment, you're getting 3.5 kVA, inverter and battery pack. And then in the larger apartments, like the 3-bedroom, it's a 6.5 kVA system. All right. So you don't need to be messing around, getting onto the roof of the building and trying to put in all of those additional things. They come with the apartment already, fully installed. All right. So all of these are some of the advantages, some of the really things, some of the really important things that make the 2267 lifestyle estate really exceptional and absolutely world class.
As you're speaking, I can understand, the whole concept of a lifestyle estate. And because your home literally becomes an extension of your lifestyle. And like you said, when you get home, there's no need for you to leave because all your amenities, everything you would love to have is accessible and it's right there. How large is the estate?
Okay, we're sitting on 1.4 hectares. On full completion, we'll have 80 homes, 80 apartments. So it's not densified to the extent of some of the other areas. This is how we're able to provide mini golf, all of those amenities, lifestyle amenities that we have. So we're sitting on 1.4 hectares of land in Lawn.
And you mentioned earlier how your father got you into property development, into real estate, and it's very important to be able to pass on, the knowledge, the connections that you've made onto the next generation. As Dayton Properties, are there any initiatives that you're doing to empower the youth, be it in terms of mentorship, employment, innovation?
Absolutely. So for example, the youth are really amazing these days. For a Bali like me, I don't know all the latest tools, all the latest gadgets, all the latest, applications, AI. Our estate manager is a young man called David Gwena. He's absolutely brilliant. The solutions that he has brought forward in terms of everything that we'll do and how we will manage and run the estate. Absolutely cutting edge technology. But what's exciting is we placed all this responsibility on a young person, and he's built another young team around himself. And these are the guys that are bringing in all this new technology that we're going to be utilizing in terms of managing the estate going forward. We've also been very gender sensitive. We've got a balance in terms of our engineers. Our lead design engineer is a young female lady. Ropa Nyemba, assisted by another female engineer, Monashe Chonasi, our health and safety officers, our site clerks and management team. We've got a whole lot of young people. It's important to have the guys with a little bit more experience working with the younger guys who are more up to date with technology and all the new things coming in.
It's good to see that there are initiatives for youth empowerment there. Rashid, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you have any questions, any contributions, before we wrap it up, please make sure you drop us a message on 0772 168 045. We're in conversation with the CEO of Thayton Property, Mr. Ben Nyawume, and we're speaking about how this is the first of its kind in Zimbabwe. First of its kind in Zimbabwe. This is a lifestyle estate. Basically, your home becomes an extension of your lifestyle and fits in perfectly. It's won already 3 international awards and very smart energy conservation initiatives there, and a variety of automated access systems as well to just make life more convenient and enjoy your living space. Looking at this innovation, it being the first of its kind, and looking into the importance of driving local homegrown solutions. Do you feel that there are a lot of partnerships in Zimbabwe that could see other innovators like yourselves growing?
Absolutely. I wanna just go back to one thing, Kaya. Our first recognition that we got was locally. It was the Zimbabwe CEO Network. They rated the 2267 Lifestyle estate project as the best residential development in Zimbabwe. This was towards the end of 2024. That award was just as important to us as these international awards. We then also got from the CEO Roundtable another award for excellence in property development earlier this year. I don't want to demean the local. They are very important, and we are so appreciative to the CEO Roundtable and to the Zimbabwe CEO Network for the recognition that they've given us. Sorry, I just wanted to mention that because it's very important. Okay.
And well noted.
Yes, sure. Come again. What was the question again?
Let me change my question a little bit. As you were speaking, and maybe I'll play the devil's advocate just for a little bit. How accessible would be a lifestyle estate for the average Zimbabwean?
Well, it's very accessible. You know, the other day I spoke to some other people, and I was talking about the entrepreneurial nature in Zimbabweans, the fact that we have it a lot better here than it is in South Africa. It's a pity that our financial institutions are not doing mortgages in the traditional way. To make this project more accessible, estate and property, we have been providing financing to our investors. So at the 2267 Lifestyle Estate, you have 7.5 years to pay for your property. After paying just a 40% deposit, not even half. You know, to ask for half would have been fair, but we said, no, 40%. And the balance, we've given people up to December 2030 to pay the balance of the purchase price. So that has gone a long, long way to really making this project accessible to many Zimbabweans, because there's nowhere else in the market right now, no matter who you bank with, no matter how wealthy you are, where you can get a mortgage, to buy a new property and have 7.5 years to repay it.
We have a question from a listener who would like to find out, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, please visit our website and meet the whole Thayton Property team that is up there. Our website is www.thaton property with a y.co.zw.
And as we wrap up our conversation, I really wish we had more time, and hopefully we can, have a longer conversation in future, because I feel like there are a lot of insights that you can share, and especially around accessible properties, especially residential areas. That is a huge cause of concern for many people, and I guess it's an aside we'll have in future. Now the questions are coming in. We have a listener who'd like to say, if I want to get in the same path, what did you study at varsity, and how do I get into it as well?
All right, nice question. I went to Natal University in Durban and I studied construction engineering and management. I then went postgraduate to UCT Graduate School of Business, and I did a property development program there. And then I went to the Stellenbosch Graduate School as well, and I did an advanced CMP course there, which is a construction management program. So that's my educational background. But we have so many people who are property developers who come from a financial background. Some come from a legal background. The fact that you didn't do quantity surveying or engineering does not mean you can't get into property development. I think some of the biggest property developers are not even people that have trained in the built environment. Not having gone through the traditional route does not negate your opportunity to get into this field.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the clarification there. Unfortunately, we have to wrap up our conversation, but like I said, I hope you'd be open to a longer conversation in future. I think there's a lot of wisdom that we can tap into, and also just really explore the various opportunities that exist within the property development and real estate aspect. Finally, as we wrap up our conversation, what would your key message be to our listeners, and a call to action, if any?
Well, I know that ZiFM has got a lot of listenership all around the world. People are listening right now from the UK, the US, South Africa, and everywhere. I spent 23 years outside of my country. And there's no better place there's no other place I'd rather be in the world. There are many educated. We're one of the most educated peoples on the continent. And there are many brothers and sisters that are wallowing out in the UK, in the US, in Australia, with so much knowledge that we need back here and resources to really, really build our country and go forward. When I was in South Africa, I developed the first Radisson Hotel on the continent. All right, that is where some of our expertise come back. There's been nothing more rewarding than being able to be here, doing it in my own country, and having my friends and relatives and people who really care about my success cheering me on. So my closing and my parting remark is to the international audience and to the local audience that are thinking about seeking better opportunities out there. Believe me, trust me, if you look at your country with the right eyes, you will see all the opportunities that we have here. This is the place of the future. And I encourage all young people thinking about leaving to stay, and all of those who are sitting on the fence about coming back, come back. And make money.
As we come back and make money. Also teach us how to make money, those that are still here. Anyway, that was the CEO of Dayton Property, Mr. Benyaume, an award-winning company behind the 2267 Lifestyle Estate, proudly putting Zimbabwe on the global property map. Their story is one of innovation, empowerment, and I can tell your passionate belief in local excellence, which is very
absolutely
important. Mm-hmm. Thank you once again, sir, for taking time to speak to us. It's been an insightful conversation. Hopefully one day I'll be a homeowner in the 226.
Come talk to us. Come phone Catherine. She'll take your call right now. I'll give you a number, or Strive, or Shingi. Call any one of them. We'll sort you out.
Thank you so much, sir. That's a wrap on today's edition of The Impact. Like I said, we slightly altered our programming for today, but I'm handing off the reins now to Brian Stole, who's coming through with the platform. Enjoy the rest of your programming on ZiFM Stereo, my station.